Hey guys, Warman here. In time for Christmas, I am here with the latest episode of Questions, Answers, and News. It's been a while since the last one, and we have a lot to talk about. So let's get to it. So for starters, I just want to thank you guys for your continued support, and I hope you guys are all enjoying the next update. I do want to apologize for taking a whole year for getting the next update out, because that was not the plan, at all. Nevertheless, shit happens. Now, on to some actual questions. One we saw a lot of was, are we aware of the campaign tool Rise of Mordor is working on? To those that don't know, Rise of Mordor has basically achieved a big breakthrough, where they're finally being able to truly alter the campaign mode, and they are using that to make Middle Earth now. They've had live streams recently, showing it off and stuff. Now the answer is, of course we knew. We knew before you guys did. Let me explain something. The Total War modding community is a small world, and that goes double for Attila. Anything major anyone does is usually picked up on by the others. We have been aware of their tool for at least a year before you guys did. And of course, we didn't say anything out of respect for their privacy. Now of course, this leads to the question, how would we use this tool? Well, depending on how capable it is, we'll be able to do quite a lot. For starters, we would definitely fix the city positions, so cities like Paris would actually be where Paris was. And also fix the wonky region borders as well, especially in places like Spain and the Balkans. Another thing that we might do is add more cities and regions, kind of fresh out certain parts of the map. We might also promote a couple of emergent factions or starting factions. Factions like the Binding of Bosnia and the Republic of Florence would be examples of this. We wouldn't do too many of those, but we would do a couple here and there. If possible, we would love to expand the playable sections of the map in certain directions. We would definitely expand into Eastern Europe and place Novgorod on the map, as well as maybe a couple other factions there. We have a while to go before this is even going to be a thing, but it is kind of comforting to know that someday in the future we might be able to address these things. Moving on, in case you guys missed it, Creative Assembly recently had a blog post interviewing me and Slight Acura. We get some very important insight for how we do certain things in the mod. It was such an awesome gesture on Creative Assembly's part, and I would like to thank them once again for their time. A couple other minor ones here real quick. To those who took issue with the unit names in the Navarre roster video, we are currently looking to adjust the names so that they'd be more appropriate to Basque language stuff, so stay tuned on that. We've also had a lot of people asking for stuff like the late campaign, some questions about the Teutonic Horn Helms, and the multiplayer campaign. We've addressed these before in other questions, answers, and news episodes, and the answer still hasn't changed. So check out those videos for our answer. I know that's not what you guys want to hear, but that's just how it is right now with some of these things. I know a lot of people are clamoring for a multiplayer campaign, but nothing's really changed on that front yet. So let's get to the last big thing I want to talk about, because there's a lot to say, and this will also answer a lot of other questions we've been getting as of late. What's next for the mod? Where do we go from here? When will certain factions get reworks? What about buildings and mercenaries? Well, let's go over all that. As touched on in the interview, we've been mostly shifting away from new factions and units and more toward gameplay mechanics and adding more depth to what's there. Make no mistake, we have some factions left, and some that still need revamps and completions, but we're trying not to bog ourselves down. So what's coming specifically? Well, D.E. Trooper, everyone's favorite scripting wizard, is currently working on the College of Cardinals system, and when that's ready we can finally enable the Papal States in the campaign mode. The revamped Toulouse roster, which was a last minute addition to the update, is going to be integrated into the campaign mode. Also, some of the new emergent factions are going to be implemented campaign side. So we're talking about Florence, Naples, Bosnia, Moldavia, and I think a couple others. We also have You Guess Who on getting mercenaries into the mod, which is a highly requested feature that I know everyone's been looking forward to. You Guess Who is also at some point going to work on revamping the Mongol factions, as well as doing some adjustments to the Seljuks. Banksy is currently working on revamps for the various Byzantine factions, starting with Nicaea. I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for this. Here's some pictures showing the progress he's made. He's also been making custom models for other mod team members who need certain assets, such as the upcoming Irish roster, and I'll get to that in a moment. Adrian is currently working on the regional French units for the two unplayable Occitan factions. Zesamortal, besides working on some of the aforementioned campaign stuff, is also working to finish the Duchy of Austria's revamped roster. In particular, he's working on finishing their third tier, and that's also going to come with some Lance Connect units. Another thing that's highly requested. And then after that, he's going to continue working on revamping the Khwarazmians and the Holy Roman Empire. We also have a few new members. First off, we have Gearhawk, who is going to be working on the Irish faction, as well as helping us out with some of the building modding, i.e. trying to make use of vanilla assets where we can to make it fit the period more to kind of speed things along here. We have a guy helping us named Ghost, who is making custom models now, and behold the progress we've made so far. It's still very early, but it's still a major step in the right direction, and I'm very pleased that this has happened much sooner than I expected. Also allow me to introduce Fyodor, who is basically going to be updating models for us. Like, we have a lot of unit rosters in the mod, and many of these don't need revamps, but some of the assets are a bit out of date. He's going to be updating models for other mod team members so that our roster makers can focus on true revamps and new factions without being bogged down. For example, he's been updating all the Surcoat models from this open source project model from Crusader's Way to Expiration to our new, better custom made one. Also, at some point, Fyodor will be revamping Denmark. We have Lusum working on the Russian region, both revamping Kiev and working on a slew of new factions, including the Duchy of Vladimir, this faction here, Heilig, I don't know how you pronounce it, I apologize to my Russian viewers, Novgorod, and a couple more. So, if you've been wanting for more representation for the Russian factions, it's on its way, although that one is still a few months out at least. There are other factions we do plan to address, but we can't be everywhere at once. Like Scotland needs work done, and we will definitely get to them in time. The Scandinavian factions need work, the Ayyubids need more units. Many of these have mod team members assigned to them, but they are simply working on other stuff first. We just want to ask for patience on a lot of this stuff. Just know it's a matter of when, not if. So that's all for now. That was a lot to take in, so I apologize if this was a little winded, but hopefully the gap between these episodes won't be as large next time, and now you guys have a better idea of where we are at. On behalf of the Medieval Kingdoms team, we would like to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and to once again thank you guys for your continued support of our mod over the years. Here's to 2021. See you all next time.